Now, right now, there are so many open source softwares and tools and libraries that we can use that earlier we just had very few programs and algorithms to learn. And this is what someone would think in maybe 2011. Oh, wait, I can use classification to predict stock prices. I'm going to get rich, right? And this is a course that somebody is taking. In 2018, we have so many softwares and libraries right now that it feels I'm not sure if this model is learning something or if it's a monkey throwing darts. Now, the point is, how can we learn the bleeding edge deep learning? Because deep learning itself is already cutting edge, right? So how do we stay on top of all the recent advancements in deep learning? The first approach that many people intuitively want to take, usually including me, is I look at the most difficult thing within deep learning. I want to see, okay, so deep learning requires me to learn mathematics and machine learning. So let me learn this first, maybe spend a semester or two learning this. And then I'm going to spend a semester or two learning machine learning, and then learn the concepts of deep learning, and then finally practice deep learning. So this is what comes to our mind, a pyramid type thinking where I'm going to learn this first, and then learn the next topic, and then the next topic, and then finally I'm going to learn deep learning. The next approach is to directly pick a project and then learn everything you need to learn to solve it. So this approach is more aggressive where you're focused on a problem, right? And to solve this problem, you don't care whether you are learning math or you're learning machine learning or you're learning deep learning directly. All you care about is how do I use all of this to solve the problem. And in your process of solving the problem, doing the project, you will learn everything along the way. So both approaches have its own pros and cons. I think that approach three is best for learning deep learning. And in this approach, the reason I think approach three or this new approach is better is because theory and application is tied together very closely. In other words, you could not just study the theory and go to your cave and solve the problem. Instead, what you can do is start here, run others' examples, and then practice your own coding, and then brush your concepts and read literatures, and then go back and keep practicing examples. So we have to do this in a cycle in order for us to learn the bleeding edge in deep learning. Now, to learn the history of deep learning, I find this book, The Deep Learning Revolution by Terry Sejnowski, a very interesting read. It doesn't have a lot of math, so it actually doesn't have any mathematical equations, but it gives a pretty good background of how deep learning evolved to what it is today. So if you're interested, I recommend that you look up this book, and also there are a lot of YouTube videos and tutorials. But if you really want, if you're somebody who likes to read books, then this is something that I would recommend you to read when you have time.